What is up, guys? So my name is George, and
I'm Oliver.
we're gonna be doing our very first talk show,
Let's call it like a fireside chat.
fireside chat. We'll call it that. I'm cool with that. So we got some topics. I mean, him and I are always getting together. Been doing it for freaking years, almost 8 years, 7 years now. And since we met, we always we kind of look past the superficial conversations, and we try to get more in tune with learning more about the other and learning more about the life and experiences and all the fun shit that comes along with that, you know. So it's been actually a pleasure to be your friend this entire time, man. It really has, and I think it's been fun. So we're gonna nail some topics today that we were actually talking about earlier. We talked about a lot of shit when we just got back from hiking and playing football, and we had a lot of topics to talk about, which that would have been a hell of a show, to be honest with you, while we were hiking. So but this is the first time we're gonna video it, and we're gonna see how it goes. So thanks you guys for watching. All right, so
the first topic is going to be discipline versus motivation. And one of the things we always talk about is how motivation is very fleeting. And on a day-to-day basis, what we need is mostly discipline. Discipline means not being able to negotiate with yourself, doing things even when you don't feel like it, right? Discipline is what carries you through those days and those times where you might not feel like getting up at a certain time, 5 a.m. You might not want to go work out. You might not want to eat healthy. You might not do what it is that you know you need to do in order to achieve your dreams, and how that affects you in the long term. You got to choose your heart, right? It's easy to not do what it is that you know you should do, but in the long term, that's going to be hard in the way that you're not going to have the life that you wish you had in that sense. What are your thoughts, George?
no, absolutely. Going back to the motivation thing, I mean, you can only have motivation for so long. So discipline to me equals happiness, and I tell it to a lot of people, anybody that knows me. Discipline to me equals happiness, having a routine, and realistically, like he spoke about, it's doing the shit that you need to do even when you don't feel like it, because you're not gonna feel good every single day. You're gonna wake up sick some days. You're gonna wake up and you're gonna have a headache some days. You're gonna be hungover sometimes. The whole point is you still have to show up. You still have to put a smile on your face. You still have to get shit done, because if you're not getting it done, somebody else is doing it. Somebody out there is doing what the fuck you want to do, but doing it with a smile on their face, with the right intentions also. And it's really, once again, just discipline in general, man. It's not just, it comes down to doing the shit that you said you were gonna do. Not just, oh, I'm gonna lose 20 pounds, and then you lose 10 and I stopped doing it because it got harder. Yes, it's gonna get harder, but it's about getting up and keeping those promises that you made to yourself. That, I think, is like some of the most crucial shit you can do, and for your own self-development, for your own growth, realistically speaking. Because if you break your own fucking promises, you're gonna break everybody else's shit too, you know. So I think it's very important to keep those little promises to yourself, no matter how small or big they are, and do what the fuck you say you're gonna do. I think that's the most important part.
I think a big thing that comes up with keeping your own word is keeping that credibility with yourself, right? A lot of people talk about self-esteem and how how do I get more self-esteem? Self-esteem really is just that credibility you have within yourself. If you say you're going to do something, you know for a fact you're going to do it. So when you speak, when you're in front of people, that self-esteem is that self-accountability and that self-credibility that a lot of people are missing. Why so many people don't have that self-esteem? You can't. It's not something you can fake. A lot of people think just being loud or whatever that equals self-esteem or confidence. Confidence is just believing in what you say, and the more you do that for yourself, the more other people will have confidence in you, and that's how you get to where it is you want to go.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. My biggest thing is so I have my own business, so it's a little bit different. So like I was telling him earlier, it's hard for me to take a sick day. It's hard for me to, I'm hungover today, I'm not gonna go in the office. No, it doesn't work like that, because if I don't show up, nothing gets fucking done, or it's really difficult to get things done. So it's telling yourself that you're gonna get up, I wake up every morning and I go to the gym. You go to the gym at night, but you still go at freaking. I've seen them post pictures at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, grinding this shit out. Absolutely. So it's just a matter of making time, and it's not just going to the gym either. Like, seriously, I feel like everybody needs to be physically active, though. Realistically speaking, everybody in the world needs to be physically active. Our bodies are not meant to be moving, like sitting still. We're not meant to be kept inside the entire time, which is another reason why we're doing this outside. We spent majority of the day outside. This entire week I spent majority of the time outside. Why? Because our bodies are meant to be outside. They're meant to be moving. The more you sit still, the more you sit in a fucking dark room or on your computer all fucking day long or on your phone all day long, the more sad you naturally get. So if you say, once again, hey, I'm gonna do this, then start cutting out the bullshit. Be real with yourself and stick to what the fuck you said you were gonna do. Because if you don't, then that's gonna come back and hit you in the face that much harder, because you just lied to yourself. You didn't keep those promises to yourself, and you're basically being fake to yourself.
So that goes into our next topic, which is discipline and how they affect habits. So as we were mentioning before, discipline pretty much equals not having the room to negotiate with yourself. Mm-hmm. Right? Going back to, you say you're gonna do something, you do it, and ultimately that discipline and those habits from the choices that you make on a daily basis, they ultimately shape your identity, right? So the discipline you have will equals the habits and decisions that you make, and then further that equals your identity. You know, you'll say, hey, I'm not the type of person that skips a workout.
Yep.
Hey, I'm not the type of person that drinks on a weekday. Hey, I'm not the type of person that eats trash food on a day-to-day basis. That identity comes from the habits that you choose on a day-to-day basis. And that's ultimately how, in my opinion, habits define your identity.
100% with you, man. And habits have a lot to do with discipline, because it goes back to, you told yourself you're going to start something, or you told yourself, hey, I'm gonna stop smoking. I'm gonna stop smoking pot for a month, or I'm gonna stop smoking pot, period. And you simply stick to what you do, and that's your new identity. I am no longer a pot smoker, or I am no longer driving after having 6, 7, 8, 9 drinks, or I'm no longer leaving work right on time. I'm staying an extra 30 minutes and trying to get more shit done. It's creating those new habits, and it's creating that new, it's almost like a callus in your head also, and just, I don't know how else to put it, man. It's like the callus, and it's just like, it hardens you to stick to what the fuck you said you were going to do, which goes back to discipline. But you need to create those habits. You need to stick to what the fuck you said you were going to do, or else you will never have discipline. And if you don't have discipline with yourself, you don't have discipline in your life, you don't have structure. To me, structure is everything too. Like structure, discipline, it all goes hand in hand. So you need to have structure with what you're doing. If not, then, I mean, I don't know how some people live sometimes when like they wake up and they don't have shit ready for the day. They don't have their meals ready. I meal prep everything. So I meal prep every not every day, but I meal prep maybe once or twice a week, and I have all my food for the rest of the week. I don't have to worry about it. This is what the fuck I'm eating. I'm gonna stick to my diet, and I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it right. Now, do I enjoy my fun foods? Yes, just like everybody else. We just ended up getting food at Whole Foods, and we had some fried chicken with it, but the rest of the food was pretty freaking clean. And so there is time to dick around, but that's not a everyday type of thing. Majority of the time, we're both very disciplined with what we're putting in our bodies, what we're putting in our minds, what we're reading, and just always trying to continue to get better and develop those good habits of sticking to what the fuck we said we were gonna do, which to me goes back to discipline as well.
Hey, like Uncle Jocko says, discipline equals freedom.
Yeah.
And that's the truth, man. If you got you start having discipline based on any goals that you might have, those disciplines should fall in the umbrella of those goals to help you achieve them, do something on a daily basis that gets you closer to that. So if you have that discipline, it's easier to make choices. Like, is this choice gonna get me closer to the end goal or not?
Right.
And that's ultimately freedom.
Is this short satisfaction, or is this gonna help me, for my end of the year goal or my end of the 5-year goal? And understanding, like, a lot of things, we could talk about this shit all day, honestly, because then you can go into just doing those other little things that keep you growing, man. instead of going out and fucking partying, you stay the fuck home and have a chill night or go to bed early, stretch, foam roll, whatever the case might be. I say stretch and foam roll because that's what I normally do before bed. But instead of going out and getting shit faced or having a good time, you go home and you stay home for the night, you go to bed early, and you invest in yourself. A lot of people look at it like, oh my God, fear of missing out, I have FOMO, I don't want to miss out, I only get so many opportunities. Yeah, that's cool and all, but is it getting you to where the fuck you want to get to? Is it gonna pay your bills? Is it gonna help you develop further? Is it no? Going out, shit, unless you meet somebody super special, sure. But besides that, like all that other fun shit, man, I mean, I had my fun, dude. I had my fun in my early 20s, to be honest with you. And after that, I just kind of...
It's a slippery slope, though, right? I mean, you make one bad choice, you have one extra drink, you stay out, it starts snowballing into, you know, bad life choices, really. You know, staying out later, having more drinks, and God knows what else. You know, you might do something that you regret the next day or something.
Yep.
And the point is to limit those kind of... choosing more good options than bad, in my opinion. Like making more good choices than bad choices. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes, but a mistake that is repeated, that's a choice.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Kobe said it good too, man. There's no more negotiating with yourself. So, and I've been trying to tell myself that more often. So like every time I leave the gym now, one, I wake up and I splash cold ass fucking water in my face. Cold water in my face and my hair. Just straight cold water. And that very first cold water, man, is the best one because that's like the super cold one, and I'm like, oh, it wakes you the fuck up though. And then I'll go work out, and during the summertime I won't do this, but every now and then I'll work out outside, but especially in the winter time. In the winter time, I will force myself to do half my workout outside. Why? Because it's not comfortable. And getting uncomfortable is another part of being disciplined and doing the shit that you said you were gonna do, because it's not always going to be fucking easy. If you only work out when it's 70 degrees outside or 70 degrees in the gym, and you have to be the perfect fucking temperature, or it has to be the perfect setting and the perfect daylight, and the UV can't be too high or too low, yo, you're not going to get shit done. Seriously, you're not going to get shit done, man. There's so many people like that. Like, it has to be fucking perfect, or I can't go for a walk. Oh, it's gloomy outside.
It's overcast.
It's overcast. I can't go outside. No, man. Like, y'all got to quit being fucking bitches and just get shit done. And just stick to what the fuck you say you're gonna do. So after I get done working out, my ass goes and takes a fucking cold shower.
Yeah.
I put that bitch, I started like a little bit like on the middle, so it's still kind of chilly, and then I towards the end, the last 30 seconds, I put that shit on full cold. And at first I was making faces.
Yeah.
At first I was, I'm shivering, you know? And now it's like, I do my best to get in there, take the cold shower with zero emotion on my face. Zero giving up, zero struggle, because
showing that resilience.
Showing
that resilience.
Yep. I mean, dude, when I was getting ready, I told you this before, when I was getting ready for college football, and during the summer workouts, I would do the whole morning workout with my old high school and compete with those guys that were seniors and all those other guys that were coming up, have a blast. I would go home, eat, and then I would go back to the field at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, middle of the summer. Why? Because that's the hottest fucking time of the day. And I knew that if I could do my sprints, I could do my conditioning at the worst time of the day, my second workout of the day, I'm gonna breeze through that shit at 6 a.m. when it's nice and cool and easy. So I feel like if you prepare yourself for hell during your practice, the game will get much easier. But you have to